guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of new makeup, which you know the drill. It's probably like 70% new makeup, but actually a lot of new stuff. I have Auric by Samantha Ravindal. I've got the new L'Oreal powder foundation, new Urban Decay eyeshadow palette, new Revlon foundation that I haven't seen anywhere besides Shoppers where I bought it, new Ordinary concealer, new Lancome mascara, Anastasia brow freeze. Lots of new stuff. So if you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to subscribe, but let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use this as like my primer. Honestly, I have not watched anything on this, even Samantha's video. This is the Auric line by Samantha Ravindal, who's a Canadian YouTuber if you're not familiar with her. I picked it up in the shade Citrine. You're getting 1.18 fluid ounces in here, so a decent amount of product. I actually thought that this was going to be a foundation when she first launched it. I haven't watched anything on this to the point where I don't even know how to access it. No. Am I dumb? Oh, I am. I picked it up in the shade Citrine. I actually, I'm really curious to try this. It's got a thicker consistency than I was expecting it to, and it looks like a foundation. Like, it doesn't look, you know, like you get a liquid highlighter and sometimes it really, ooh, that's pretty orange. This is the kind of thing I'll probably mix in with foundation, but today I'm just going to use it underneath, so it doesn't really matter that it's kind of orange. I don't know if I can compare it to anything at the moment. Like, everything that I want to compare this to is not as thick in texture and looks a little bit like it has more shimmer in it, which I actually kind of appreciate that this doesn't necessarily have any shimmer in it. Perhaps I'll put it on over my foundation as well as a liquid highlighter kind of and see how that looks. But I will say the packaging is gorgeous, feels really heavy, really luxurious, made in Italy. Definitely expensive in terms of like shipping. I know some people paid customs. I didn't pay customs. I can really sympathize with her in getting a lot of pushback, because I know as a Canadian YouTuber, if I ever was able to create my own product line, let me just keep putting things on my face here. Okay. Did I buy this in the same shade twice? Yes. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Don't be like me. I went to Shoppers and I bought this Revlon Color Stay foundation, and I brought it home and I was like, that's not really my shade, I feel like. So I went and bought two more because I was like, I'll do a full review. I'll have 3 different shades for you to be helpful. I have 440 Caramel, 440 Caramel, and 510 Cappuccino, which is definitely going to be too dark. But I just looked at the display and didn't look at the actual bottles. What one did I open? I'll donate the others. But I think this one is going to be too dark, maybe? No, I can make that work. That is 440 Caramel. So this is the Revlon Color Stay Light Cover foundation. I haven't seen almost anything about it. It says up to 12-hour wear, 56% hydration, no parabens, fragrance. Oh, no fragrance. That's cool. I mean, I don't care. But I know other people care. So let's try it. This has a full fluid ounce. I really don't like the packaging, but I'm curious about the product. Huge fan of the Revlon Candid, which doesn't get a lot of love. Haven't used Color Stay in a while. I think generally I'm about a 430. But anyways, back to the Auric thing. I feel like if I ever got the opportunity to create my own product line, I think beyond even like, not beyond formulation and shade range, like those would be obviously top of my priority list, but being able to accommodate Canadian customers would be like #1 in my, or like really high on my books. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's at all feasible. There's a reason that every single brand ends up being more expensive in Canada, harder to get in Canada due to Health Canada rules or customs or currency or availability. And like, let's face it, America is 10 times the size of Canada. So it sucks because I'm sure she tried, or I'm at least giving her the benefit of the doubt that she would have tried to make it accessible, because it is something that she talks about. which I feel like a lot of Canadian YouTubers really hide the fact that they're Canadian. Like there's been people who I've watched didn't even realize that they were Canadian until like a while in. And I feel like people do it because they don't want to be polarizing to their American audience, but like as Canadians, we watch primarily Americans. When I started watching YouTube, I started watching British people. So like, you know, I watch people for different reasons. It's not only to get a Canadian perspective, but I think the Canadian perspective is so important and it gets so overlooked, but we do need to accommodate for certain things in Canada. You know, like American would never be able to speak to customs or the difference in price or the fact that it has SPF in Canada but it doesn't say it on the packaging because Health Canada's rules, or how long did it take to get to Canada or whatever. Like these are all really important things. So anyways, also I have a lot of dryness around my under eyes. If you see like redness, I probably shouldn't be putting on makeup, but girls gotta work. Okay, this looks good. Colors. Also, that's not me like crapping on Samantha. I don't mean it's like expensive in the sense that like there's no value or in it or anything. I have not really had much chance to play with it. I just like I'm trying to empathize with the fact that I'm sure she tried to make it like as good for Canadians as possible, and I know that there's a lot that goes into it, especially as a smaller brand. She's not gonna have like capital or investments from like, you know, other brands or other product lines to be able to support perhaps taking a hit on Canadian shipping. So I like to try and give like a little bit of background information. I think it's important to think about these things, and I get that insight that you maybe don't get. If that makes sense? I don't know. Sometimes I talk and I'm like, am I saying anything? I don't know. Okay, so I have the Ordinary Concealer. Interesting that they came out with this because their foundations came out so long ago. I reviewed one of their foundations and I liked it. These are the high coverage concealers. So I picked up shade 3, which is what I wore in the foundation. I got 3Y, 3N. I'll say I'm going to do a blog post with swatches. Do I ever? Almost never. But maybe I will. And then I have 2.3 neutral and yellow. So let's see. These were super cheap. I got 4 of them plus 2 like products just to get free shipping. I saw people talking about using hyaluronic acid on their hair, so I picked up some hyaluronic acid just to use on my hair. Okay, so this is 2.3, wait no. I feel like in videos I always say like, I'm sorry I'm a little frazzled today, sorry I'm a little chatty, sorry I'm a little lit. Like, I think that's just maybe the way I am. So I'm gonna stop apologizing for it. Okay, so this one here, these are the 2.3s, which I think is what I'm gonna go with. Actually that looks good too. This one is 3.0 and medium dark neutral. I'm gonna use that. But yeah, I got 4 concealers and 2 like of their smaller skincare products, and I think it came to like under $40 and free shipping in Toronto at least. I don't know what they're doing everywhere, but they have stores in Toronto and it ships quite fast out of the stores, I think. Also, my hair is very big today. I put a little bit of product in the front pieces, but otherwise there's no product in there because it just air dries faster. It's really interesting. I feel like I can see how healthy these curls are on the bottom. They have so much, like they have a good ringletiness, good shininess. There's no product in these. But up here, obviously, which gets more heat styling and stuff, needs a little bit more work. I think that looks okay. Honestly, though, I'm not sure if it's the dryness under my eyes or just age, but I really like new fine lines. I don't even know if I can call them fine lines. They might just be lines. The dryness, everything just looks like kind of creepy and dry right now. So I'm not sure if that's like just my new life or if it's like a temporary thing because of the dryness. So stay tuned. Things are happening on my face. This is the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Honey Powder. Talked about this in my most recent, or in a recent video about my favorite powders. So I have under eye powders, face powders, dry skin, oily skin, no matter what. Then to set my face, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder. So I was super excited to see that they launched this. It's the powder kind of like counterpart or addition of the L'Oreal Fresh Wear, which is one of my favorite foundations. I think it's phenomenal, and I reviewed it in full. I will review this powder foundation. I'm still, I just need to kind of play a little bit of catch up. But I want to try and do one foundation review a week, if not like at least one every like 4 videos, if that makes sense. 4 or 5 videos. So yeah, I will review it. But so far, really, really loving it. I think it gives great coverage. I like it on its own as a powder. I like it to set. And I'm wearing 260 Golden Sun in this, which is a little bit lighter than what I normally go for, but I don't have much color right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring you in for the eyes now. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay. I love the packaging. It's like snaky and kind of oil slick. Naked, what is it? Wild West. Okay, let me bring you in. If you haven't seen it, this is what the palette looks like. It's got some like warm browns, some teals, some lighter shades here. I'm going to start with the shade Spur, and then I'll probably work my way into these warm ones, which are Ghost Town and Whiskey. Oh, and probably, what is that? Nudie. That light one. Okay, so here are my thoughts on this palette. Not that people are like up in arms about it or anything, but I feel like people are taking the naked thing too seriously. You know what I mean? Like, even the first Naked palette that came out, I would argue to say that that wasn't even that neutral. Like, it was, in the sense there was no bright colors. It was pretty cool toned. I lied. I'm actually going to take this shade here too. But I feel like now every time a Naked palette comes out, ooh, I like this shade. It's called Laredo, I think. I don't know. I've heard that word before, but I don't know what it means. Anyways, I feel like people are like, that's not neutral. How does that make any sense? And like, I get it. But I mean, they never really said, like, I guess that's kind of what they implied with the first couple of palettes, but at the same time, like, this is their staple name for eyeshadow palettes. Like, you know, it's not, I think what it is really is that people are just kind of like tired of Urban Decay a little bit perhaps, or like they have so many palettes out now that like people just aren't excited by them, and then they're leaning into the Naked thing. Not that it, I mean, you can grill them as much as you want. Go for it. But that's just kind of my thoughts on, like, I'm not bothered by the fact that they're calling them all Naked. Because they have like a secondary name. It's not Naked 1, 2, 3, 4 even still, you know? It's like Naked Cherry, Naked Honey, Naked whatever, 4000, whatever they're up to. I will say that this palette, like, if they sent this to me, if they didn't send it to me, would I have been intrigued to try it? No. Like, in the sense that I'm a makeup lover, yes, I want to put everything that launches on my face, but as like a consumer, would I have been running out to buy it? No. It's not, it's interesting. I like that it has like a little bit of a mix of cool and warm. I think like this text shade is really gorgeous. I wish they had leaned, like, I don't think we need these two shades here. I love that there's a gold and a silver. That's cool. Like this color I feel like is in every single palette of theirs, something like this. I like the gray, you know, like this shade is interesting. So like, you know, now that I'm playing with it, I'm kind of enjoying it, but it didn't grab me. Same as that other palette they came out with that had the little bit of textured packaging. Wow, they've launched so much, but ultimately Born to Run is still my favorite from them, and I think from the Born to Run palette you can create pretty much the majority of like, or a similar look and feel, like because the Born to Run palette has such a variety of like warm, cool, shimmer, matte, etc. You can get a lot of the looks that you can get out of, or kind of get the vibe from a lot of the other palettes out of the Born to Run. It just depends. It's all preference. I think people get really caught up in like, you know, brands are brands. Brands are going to put out products. They want our money. So it's up to us to decide who we want to give our money to, and, you know, obviously voice your opinion, but at the same time, I'm just trying to concern myself with less. Like, there's enough on the go, you know what I mean? But sometimes it feels good to lean into the makeup drama. I know I do it all the time. There's certain things that brands or whatever will do, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Okay, so this is that text shade. I need a less dense brush, I think. This may be kind of like a, speaking of makeup drama, this may be like a, what's that palette called? I was gonna call it Struck Tube. That's where I get all my furniture from, and they haunt my dreams because of their delays. Not Struck Tube. The modern Renaissance palette that everyone gets upset about. You're yelling it. It's right here. Who are you? What are you? This guy. Subculture! Oh. It's almost actually the same color as the packaging. So this kind of feels like subculture-ish in that the shade is really deep and beautiful, but is tricky to blend. I don't know if that's just my skill level, but feels a little stiff. Fingers, much better. Okay, I had to get a little bit close up to my mirror there. These shades are tricky, I feel like, to produce. There's not many out there that I really like. Definitely feels a little bit patchy. My dry eyeballs is not helping the case, but I do love the color. Okay, popped on a little bit of, or a lot actually, of winged liner. Gonna take this Hold'em shade. Did they launch anything else with this? I feel like this would have been a good opportunity while they're talking Wild West to do something with the Midnight Cowboy shade, because that's like so iconic. I'm actually surprised they didn't do like a cowboy style thing before, considering they already have that. So Lancome has released a new mascara. I think it's so beautiful. I love the square packaging. This is the Lancome Lashy Doll mascara. It's got a plastic brush that's a little bit curved. Lancome, I feel like, is well known for their mascaras. They have the Monsieur Big that they came out with. They've got whatever that iconic one is that the name has been lost on me. But they don't... Oh, I touched it to my face. Just wait, let it dry. Did I touch it again? Don't give in to the urge to wipe away mascara. Just let it dry and then you can kind of flake it up. I did that for you as so that I could show you how to get mascara all over your face. This is actually what this tutorial is. It's how to get mascara all over your face and remove it. It's a secret bonus inside of a video, because I'm just that good. So, as I did for an example, I've got a bunch of mascara here and a bunch of mascara here for you for educational purposes. Not because I am unqualified for my job. I really like the way this mascara looks. This is not a first impression. I have tried it before. It's really buildable. Like, it doesn't get clumpy. It just like gets long and luscious as you add. You can see this foundation actually was like light coverage. Like I said, you can see my acne and stuff popping through. And I did use a sponge with it. I could have spot concealed and I could have like packed on the powder a little bit more, but I'm just gonna let the pimples shine. They work so hard to be on my face, so. Now for my brows, I've got to do something which I don't like to do, which is Googling how to use a product. I bought the Anastasia Brow Freeze Brow Styling Wax. Honestly, I'm not totally sure why I bought it. Got a new phone and phone case from Etsy, and this is from Etsy too. But I wanted to try the Patrick Ta, and that was sold out, and then I was kind of curious about this. Gently pick up a small amount of product using the spoolie end of a brush, number 12, sold separately. I definitely used to have a 12. I almost never use brow brushes. Oh my god, I got it. Okay, touching. Working it in. I mean, this has promise because it seems like probably the type of product I would like next to like my 24-hour brow setter. I feel like brow setter gets my brows in place unlike anything else, and it has the convenience of like being in a tube. But I wonder if the fact that it's in a tube leads it to be like less potentially locking down, and something like this product is going to be even more intense. The thing that I see happening though, that is already happening after first use, is this is getting dirty. And then that means the product is going to get dirty and it's going to start to look gross, I think. I don't think this will continue to look clear. I just picked up the product with a clean finger instead of the spoolie. But I like the way this looks. I'll have to keep testing it out in terms of hold, because I'm wondering if it's going to be too heavy. Because sometimes things that are like this that seem like they might lock it down could in turn just weigh it down. So I definitely don't feel like that ordinary concealer looks high coverage at all. I feel like it looks like I have almost nothing here. I don't know if I should have let it set longer or not, but definitely not a lot of coverage there. I feel like it looks good, but not for like the look I'm going for. Like this is quite a heavy eye look. For my bronzer today, this is not new, but I'm using a lot of high-end stuff, so I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer in Sculpting. I don't have a new bronzer besides my Gucci one, which I've been talking about a lot lately. Oh, I did my brows before I bronzed. Wow. It's funny actually, I got a couple of comments on my Essence foundation review, which people were laughing about the fact that I was reviewing like an $8 foundation and then checking for shininess in an $88 Gucci compact. But that's how I roll, baby. I'm not going to discriminate. $8, $88. I want to know. I've never been somebody, like the only time I would have ever worn only drugstore was like out of, I could only have, like that's all I could afford. But even as I could afford more, I still, I think, get more excited about drugstore makeup than I do high end. Like when I walked into the drugstore and saw this and realized no one's talking about it that I've seen, I was like, what's this? I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it. So stay tuned. I don't have a new blush, but I have a special one. This is an oldie, and I was just digging through my blushes and I was like, wow, baby, it's copper tone. You can barely see the back of it. It's probably time to be retired to the makeup museum, but oh, it's such a good shade. This was my favorite blush of all time. It's amazing. It's just perfect. I also don't have a new highlighter, so I'm just going to use this one from MAC. Oh Darling. Extra Dimension Skin Finish. Why not? Why not? Oh, that's bright. I actually consolidated my high-end and drugstore highlighter drawer because I decluttered a bunch of stuff over the holidays, and I was able to consolidate the drawers, which is exciting. Yeah, I had 2 drawers for high-end and drugstore, okay? I'm not proud of it. I feel like that took away some of my blush. To set my face, this is the new Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. And I don't know if this lip is going to work out for me, but I'm going to try. Buxom launched a White Russian collection, which is their very, very popular, super light pink kind of product. Like, it to me reminds me of, oh my god, what was the NARS lip gloss, Turkish Delight? It's kind of in that vibe, which was never my thing. Firstly, because I couldn't afford it when it was popular, and secondly, I don't think it's that suitable for my skin and preferences. So let's try it though. I feel like it'll kind of perhaps look good with the deeper eye. I'm gonna start with the ColourPop lip liner though, BFF3. If you have my skin tone, a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, this is something you need in your collection. Like, I don't often say you need it, and like, You know what I mean when I say you need it. You don't need it, but it's changed my life. In the least dramatic way possible, this lip liner changed my life. It just makes lipsticks look better. It makes things work. It makes, I don't know, it makes a big difference, and it's a great price. I've bought it countless times, and I just outline my whole lip, and because this is quite a light color, kind of ombre the edges. So it's a lipstick and a gloss. I don't think the lipstick always existed, maybe, but there's an eyeshadow palette and stuff too. It's a little bit pinker. I wish it was a little peachier. I actually like it. I don't know if I love it with this. This is Buxom as well. This is the Mykonos gloss, which is the counterpart to my favorite blush from them. Yeah, just a little peach. So there you have it. That is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this. Lots of testing left to do. So far, I'm excited about the Revlon foundation. I need to play around a little bit more with the Auric Luminizer. I also have the eyeshadow, but I haven't, I wasn't able to use it today. The Urban Decay palette, kind of mixed feelings on that. It's interesting, but I'm not like dying for it. And the Ordinary concealer I feel like will be better for another type of look, but I enjoy how many shades they have, and I'm glad that it is the price that it is. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!